Why does the word persuasion feel like a bad word? Why is it so negative to feel like I'm trying to convince somebody to buy my product? It shouldn't, right? Because I'm here to help them. My product does good. It has benefits. It is of great value to the people or the businesses that I'm selling it to. And I'm sure you are doing the same thing, selling something that is going to help them. So why does it feel so bad? Why does it feel so wrong to use those words, persuade, convince, to influence, right? It shouldn't. But nonetheless, let me tell you, you don't have to feel that way. And in fact, I'm going to show you in this video. But first, let's think about the buyer a little bit more. Everyone in this world deals with something called the status quo bias. The status quo bias is something that helps somebody avoid extra work, taking risks. They are happy with where they are in this world. They are happy with what they currently have. Now, they might truly believe that there's no better option out there for them. They may believe that the option for them that they currently have is okay and there's no need to change. Whatever the case, that is status quo bias, and we all have it to some extent. And that is the number one uphill battle that any salesperson has. So how do most salespeople try to fight status quo bias? Well, they try to force them. They try to use coercion, if you will. Fast words, tricky words, sleek words, whatever it may be, pressure tactics. By now, this will go away, right? Those old school ways that we know we don't like, that's a strong way. But even the good ethical conversationalist, relationship, consultative type salespeople often are still dealing with the status quo bias. So, you know, how do we overcome this? Well, we let the buyer realize themselves the pain that they're walking in. All right. So, give you an example of a non sales environment, but it should ring true. I have this friend that I met not too long ago, but he's an Army vet that fought over in the Gulf Wars, and he was injured, and he now has a limp and a slight pain because of his injuries. And once I got to know him well enough, I asked him if it hurts, and he was actually at a loss for what I meant. He had learned to walk with that limp over 2 decades. He had learned to live with a daily numbing pain over 2 decades. And he just had learned to live that way without feeling like there's some way out anymore, that he just lived with it. It was part of life. So that is status quo bias, if you will. And we all kind of live with that. A business owner might believe, because they have read all the reviews, they have the best machinery to produce widgets. So when you walk in and you have this conversation with them, they might not believe that yours is any better, right? Someone might not believe that they need a new kitchen, and they might not need it. But they might feel that their old kitchen is just fine and not realize just how antiquated it looks and functions. And your new kitchen can have a lot of benefits and values. I don't know. I don't sell remodeling of kitchens, but they might not believe you when you tell them, but they might believe it if it comes from within themselves, right? And this is what we call self-discovery. A good salesperson that uses the NICE process helps someone discover their own pains and realizes that this pain that they've been walking with for this period of time is something that they at least deserve to look into, to look more into what would this mean if now that I've recalled this pain, what would it mean if I looked into a solution to take away this pain or this discomfort, right? What would that mean? What would that look like? And that is the power of questioning. And that is the power of flipping the script. If you don't know what I mean, go back and watch the previous videos. So when we flip the script and we ask them questions, we're going to use powerful questions, the right questions, the nice process questions that are going to strategically and Socratically, if you will, help this person, this buyer in front of you, self-discover this change that they should make in their own life. One of my favorite philosophers, who is actually a physicist and a mathematician, his name is Blaise Pascal. And I'm going to have to paraphrase this, but in short, he said, we are more convinced by the reasons we discover ourselves than by the reasons given to us by others. So what does that mean? It simply means that if we realize that, oh, you know what? I have a pain, I should find a way to solve that pain, right? Rather than that salesperson coming in and say, hey, you're a fool for living with this pain. We don't want to hear that. But if we learn it ourselves, if it feels like we've learned it ourselves, it carries more weight. And that is the power of the nice guy sales process. Strategic questions that we develop around our unique product, right? Because remember, we want a product, a unique product that solves a unique pain for a unique person. It's a niche, right? When we do that, we can develop our questions around this. And so in our next video, we're going to discover this. What are these questions? How do I ask them? And so continue to watch. And let me ask you, what is your unique product that is solving a unique pain in a unique group of people? You need to answer those questions first before you can come up with your unique questions, your nice guy questions. And just remember, nice guys finish and outlast.